What's going on? Good morning. How are y'all doing? I am back sharing some news with y'all. Whenever you join, let us know where you're watching from. Always interested to see how far this channel has reached. It's gone all the way to China, Jamaica, Russia, other countries, Ukraine. Happy to help point you in the right direction, friends. Welcome to Green Card Guys TV. I'm your host, John Ting, solving your immigration problem. Now, I do want to start off with that we do offer free 15-minute preliminary discussion to see if we can point you in the right direction. You might be in a situation where you have already hired a lawyer, you currently have a lawyer, and maybe you just want a second opinion. We typically don't like to step in like that, but I know that we do receive some calls that, it's not a good thing if you don't trust your lawyer, but if there's a situation you just want to confirm something, clarify, it's okay. We're happy to do that. Uh, you know, uh, there's a lot of pressing questions about immigration. One thing is that is this whole like registry date going to change the new amnesty law? Which, by the way, if you ever want to get on the Republican side, get them on board. I probably wouldn't call it amnesty. That's not a good idea. They just had this, it's a it's a sticking point for them. So, second thing that people are asking about is prosecutorial discretion. Is it still going on? Is it available to your case? It may depend on your case. There is a lawsuit, of course. There was a ruling by a court that talked about, that basically conservatives win on this one. That about the enforcement priorities. So, because of this lawsuit, some of y'all are thinking that, and even some lawyers think that, okay, prosecutorial discretion does not exist anymore, but it does. If you think about it, if you think on a criminal level, for example, immigration, by the way, is civil law, civil enforcement, not a criminal action. But if you think about it similarly with like a district attorney's office, they do have the authority to not prosecute. So same thing with Department of Homeland Security. They have the authority to not prosecute, to not pursue action against your removal outside the United States. So, but the lawsuit is more primarily focused on the enforcement priorities, basically saying go after everyone, which is ridiculous. We all know that immigration, customs enforcement, and other related agencies, sub agencies, don't have the resources to do that. So, I don't know why they would not focus on certain uh, priorities. Like the easy one, of course, is like what the priorities are: national security, public safety. So, of course, related to most crimes, and a recent, they call it border security, but meaning people who recently came into the country. I believe it was November 2020. So, anyways, y'all, if you have any questions, please drop in the comments. Let me know where y'all watching from. Maybe what you have a case pending. The third pressing question people have is, what the heck is going on with the delays? It's still going on during pandemic. I know that some of us are not wearing masks. Sometimes I don't, but in other scenarios I do. It's just a tough situation. Um, that being said, because of pandemic, there's the whole Great Resignation, at least in America. I don't know how it is in other countries. So, and of course, I'm not a human resources person, but I have my own law firm, of course. But it is something that people consider these days about their work lifestyle. And so maybe people don't want to work with the Department of State, meaning the U.S. Embassy or the U.S. Consulate. So, in general, there's just less people working, right? That's also in the government sector. So, unfortunately, that is affecting a lot of y'all's cases. I believe I showed a statistic the other day, and I'll try to find it if I can. But there's a lot of people stuck, okay, for the interview. The most common thing, I could talk all day about different tips and what's going on in US news related to immigration, but I want to try to keep this as focused as possible. Um, um, but let's see. Oh, sorry, I was just reading a comment here. I'll show it in a second. But the the thing is about prosecutorial discretion. Okay, going back to this the second one I mentioned here. we still getting agreements by Department of Homeland Security attorneys to close out cases, and close out meaning dismissed. Okay, we're not asking for administrative closure. Administrative closure, the difference between that and getting a dismissal from your court case is basically saying you're not having to go to court for a future scheduled hearing, but we're just going to temporarily close your file. So, in the event that, I don't know, a president changes and they have different enforcement priorities, they're going to open that case back up to what we call the active docket. So, if you want one of the best attorneys to advocate for you, you need to hire someone who would agree with your request. Of course, it has to be reasonable and along the lines, it has to comply with the law and the procedure, and pro- requesting prosecutorial discretion based on motion to dismiss, based on, for example, if you have immediate relative, um, then that is viable. We're getting those dismissed. Okay. And that means and what is a positive consequence of this? What is the next step after dismissal from court? Does that mean you can still go through the process of getting your residency status, your green card, if you have a case going on through USCIS? So what it does is that instead of having your case processed through the court, EOIR, it's going to get pushed. Jurisdiction is going to go back to USCIS to process your adjustment of status application or your pending petition application. Okay. So, of course, just depends on your scenario. So, I don't want to go too far into the details because everyone's situation is different. But basically, I just go broadly here is that generally speaking, if you entered without inspection, meaning without a visa, sin papeles, then um, generally you have to apply for a waiver and then go to have your visa interview outside US. I'll see if I could drop a link up here later about what to watch out for when you've overstayed, for example, or not overstayed, but entered without a visa, needing a waiver. Because a lot of y'all don't know exactly. I know there's a lot of Facebook groups out there. You want to be careful because just because someone else has success does not mean that you will have success. So you really need a legal team, not a paralegal who just works to the side and has law firm experience, but they're not actually working for a law firm currently, or a notario. I know people are trying to do good, but you really need someone, an actual licensed attorney, a law firm who has experience with this, and not just experience, but keeps updated with the law. And that's what we're trying to share out here. Okay. There's just so much going on that, if you ask me a question, I don't know about it. That could happen because there's just so much going on. What's going up, Jewel? What's going on? Nice to see you. It has been a while. That's because I've been trying to take care of business and the little kiddo, trying to be super dad. That is difficult though. Okay, Gabby. Yeah, anxiety's high. Yeah, it is for a lot of us. Try to take a moment to breathe. I know it's government policies change from time to time, and I don't know what it's not just Trump administration, but I mean, really even through the Obama administration as well. It's always changing back and forth about ICE going after everyone. You have a pending VAWA case. Um, where did you see that, by the way? Let me know, Gabby. Okay, your attorney sent an expedited request back in April for your C9 work permit. You haven't heard back. You haven't even heard that USCIS received it. Should I be worried? Um, so what is the basis of your expedite request? Usually expedite request that we send is in general is by email, or we call the hotline. Okay. Recently, and then they may send they do send some kind of acknowledgement email, but that's typically, from what I understand, that's not to yourself, for example, the applicant. Okay, so generally, back in April. Okay, it's almost August now. It's crazy. Time flies. What y'all doing this summer, by the way? What y'all been up to? Been able to take a break or anything from work, or just go on vacation even for a couple days? Where y'all been? I'm just playing catch up. my daughter and son are young, so they're not complaining yet about vacation. Thank goodness, because I need to share the tips and news with y'all. But in general, you asked about expedite request. Okay, so C9, yeah, your work permit. I mean, generally, let's say after you file the 485, 765, all those documents and your petition, that usually takes, just on average, because everyone always likes to ask about processing times. On average, is about 4 to 6 months. Okay, for the EAD, for your work permit, and for the advanced parole. Which, by the way, they did have a news recently that they're trying to, um, we call it bifurcate, but like separate out the process for processing from the whenever we apply for the advanced parole and the work permit. And the reason they do that, it's like a catch 22 because a lot of our clients like to ask for the advanced parole if you're eligible for it, because if you apply separately, you have to pay money for that. So that's why we just go ahead and send it all out at the same time. But now, recently, I remember reading about that USCIS is now trying to separate that process because applying for advanced parole is what slows down the EAD to get the 765. But I'll be interested to see what you if you apply for both or just one of them. But in my opinion, that they're just slow with everything, unfortunately. So hopefully, if you if your attorney sent it in April, the expedite request, then I'm assuming it's been processing already 5 months for that. So I'm sorry to hear that. Um, but I'd love to learn more about your situation if you applied for both the 131 advance parole or the travel document application and for the 765 at the same time. Maybe I should set up a poll, see what if y'all did that, see who's faster or not, if that is true. Hopefully that answers your question a little bit. Oh, should you be worried? There's a lot to be concerned about. Sorry, go back to Gabby. There's a lot to be concerned about with immigration, but let me see what I can pull up here. I think I mentioned this the other day, but if you go to let me share my screen. I think knowledge is power, so let me just share this real quick. Okay. All right, so it should pull up here. Let me move your comment so it's a little easier to see. Okay, you go to the tools up top on the right, and then I'll try my best to get to all your questions in 30 minutes. Appreciate the comments. Okay, then you go to tools and resources in the middle, go down in the middle, case processing times, and then, okay, so for example, just select the 765 based on C9, okay. And you want to look at the bottom of your receipt notice. I believe bottom left will say which service center or which location. Let's just put California Service Center, which, by the way, it's not so much about where it does matter where you live, of course, where you file it, but they can transfer cases. So you can see this. Oh my goodness, maybe I'm causing some heartbreak here. This is frustrating. California Service Center, just for the 765, based on C9, says 16 and a half months for 80% of the cases. So they don't want you to freak out completely. But it used to, and during the Trump administration, to show, like if it didn't say 80%, I know it didn't, it would say like 24 months. So that would freak out, we'd freak out more, right? Let's go to Texas Service Center though. Okay. 15 and a half months. Well, we know this is not accurate because we do get it in a much shorter time. So that is pretty ridiculous. I don't know why they do this, and it's specific to C9. And then so Nebraska Service Center says 17 months. This is just ridiculous. Okay, 8.5 months for National Benefit Center. Vermont Service Center is probably the worst. Oh, looks like they're the best. Did I do that right? 10 months. The National Benefits was 8.5 months. Okay, National Benefit Center gets the win for this. So the other reason I want to show you this is because when you select the proper form, you're wondering about the processing times, and then you can put in your receipt number. So Gabby, I'm just gonna guess January 5th, 2022. Okay, when you on your receipt date. Okay, it's saying your case is processing normally. It's not outside the processing time, and that is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. And what's even more ridiculous is that the earliest you can submit a question to USCIS, basically saying, hey, what's going on with my case, my application, is December 29th, 2022. Please do not contact us before this date. So that's what they're saying. Please don't bug us until then. That is super frustrating. But that's why it's helpful to have a lawyer because we have all these cases, right? So we basically have our own poll. And again, it's on average 4 to 6 months if you have a pending 485 based on C9. So don't freak out too much, Gabby, okay? Um, or don't worry too much, even though despite what it says on the USCIS website on that, okay? Let's see here. Good morning, Udaya. Hopefully, Raj. Good morning. Your question is but yeah, keep dropping the comments. By the way, to access those free 15 minutes, wait for the secret code towards the end of the show, and then you can give us a call. Share that secret code with your friends, your colleagues who have an immigration question, or share the video. We greatly appreciate it. The more you're able to share it, the more time I know to spend on YouTube or any of these other social media like TikTok, which by the way, I do have a TikTok account. I know I did it. I finally made one a couple months ago. If I dance too silly, yeah, I might be trying to get your attention, but let me know how I do, okay? Back to Raj's question. Let's see. Your parents have B1, B2. Uh, they in June. I know what they in June means. They entered in June, I guess. 5 years visa will expire in September 2022. Okay, we're almost in August. But immigration office gave them November 2022. Can they stay till 2022? I think I understand your question, but you want to rely on the I-94. Okay, I-94. Let me see if I can pull up that website. But basically, you can Google search CBP I-94, and it should take you there. But let me see if I can find the page on this to make it easy, so you know what it looks like at least. Because I know some websites you never know if it's a government website, whatnot. So I completely understand. That's why we have this channel. So I want to share with you. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so here it is. This is what it looks like. All right, CBP I-94. And I'll drop this link in the comment section. But you want to go in the this toolbar here up top. Do you call it toolbar? I don't remember anymore. Get most recent I-94. Click on I acknowledge. Enter your parents' information, passport number, date of birth, and country of citizenship. Okay. And I know, and then it should pull up the results. It should. It doesn't always do that. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and apologize for the government. I'm not going to apologize for Congress. Okay. They're going to have to take the heat themselves. Okay. They are ridiculous. But hopefully that helps, Udaya. I hope that answers your question because I know we don't want your parents to overstay. If but Udaya, give us a call, schedule a point. By the way, if you don't have time to call now, but you have time maybe tonight or just or at work, you can go to our website. It's down below in the description box if you forget, but it's quite easy. greencardguys.com, and go to the contact us page. And actually, I might be able to show you real quick because I know some of y'all might need some help. There you go. Type it in, greencardguys.com, click on contact us. Scroll down to that first section. You can answer a couple questions, and then you can also even go ahead self-schedule an appointment. But if you self-schedule, typically our team's pretty good. Our cares team, they'll try their best to call you Monday through Saturday. Sometimes we're open on Saturdays, but they'll give you a call to see if, in case we need to ask a couple more questions to verify, because we only have 15 minutes for free. So for some reason you want more than 15 minutes, hey, well, cool, we'll hang out, but you need to pay for that because we want to maximize the number of people who can help. And by the way, there was one person the other day that did send us like a DM through Instagram, and we truly appreciate it. But our team just was not able to get a response to that person in time. It probably been about 10 days, and it can show that it was read, and our team just not able to get to that. And to be honest, like if the situation is very important, call us. Okay, call us, fill out the form on the website, because there's so many different ways that you can contact a business in general. just all across the world, and specifically, at least for immigration, we really recommend you call us or fill out the form down below. You're still welcome to message on Instagram or anything like that, on TikTok. I mean, if you're watching here you're probably not gonna message on TikTok, but like, if the question is very important to you, please call us or answer a couple questions below, and our team will call you back. It's just a lot harder every time we communicate with someone on Instagram in general. People just don't respond in time, so we just prioritize that honestly as the lowest way of contacting people, because there's a lot of people that call us. So just want to give you that idea. If you do touch base with us on Instagram, it's easy for us to receive, for you to send a message, or a person in general, not you, but it's difficult for us to prioritize time on that. So okay, I talked too long on that one. But hopefully that gives you an idea about back to the I-94. Let's see here. Okay, comments. All right, y'all. You died. Drop in a comment if that helped a little bit. Want to make sure if you're on, that that I'm able to answer your question. Hey, Aditha, how you doing? It's been a while. I'm doing good, thank you. I have some crazy memory. I think you are on the West Coast, maybe. My dad finally got his. Oh, congratulations! The bona fide determination based on EAD for U visa. I remember. I'm pretty sure it was based on U visa for you. Hopefully you get that decision soon. Oh, I didn't see that part. Not eligible. Oh, you're not in the U.S. Okay. I'm sorry, Aditha. I thought, yeah, um, that does require you to be in the U.S. because it wouldn't make sense for the government to take time processing cases, applications for someone in that respect for 765. The person has to be in the U.S. Just a short answer. Yes, that is true. How long will it take for waitlist processing? Great question. I probably won't be able to cover that in this segment, okay, Aditha, but I will write that down. Let me get my pen. I will write that down right now as a topic to discuss, to share with you the statistics on the wait time. Okay, so let me write that down right now. Okay, I have several different checklists. Okay, wait time on the U visa. Okay, I mean, just generally we say 5 years, but hey, Aditha, drop in the comments if you're still on to let me know when your uh, receipt date on 918. Okay, let me know, and then I can use that as an example for in the video. Alrighty, Nikita, how are you? Thanks for staying on, friends. Happy to share information here as best to my ability at this moment. If I don't know the answer, I will definitely my team and I will research it and get back to you. We're on every Friday at 10 a.m. right now. If you, I know that some people can't meet at 10, but try to accommodate the folks in other countries as well. Okay, you filed a motion to reconsider almost 2 years now. Okay, I'm assuming that's with USCIS because that's usually when we refer to motion to reconsider. Usually, should you inquire with them, or is it not advisable to follow up? I wouldn't say not follow up. You mean, I'll give you an example, Nikita. The government, another example why USCIS specifically is ridiculous. So, because we filed, our law firm filed in a 290B, I'm assuming that's what you filed as well. 290B, based on an employment application, we took over on a case, and we filed it back in 2018. Okay, and this previous attorney, did not check off on this green card employment based, did not check off that they're basic, family, that they're blood, basically. Okay, there's scrutiny on that. There's a reason why that question was there. We did not receive the decision from the Administrative Appeals Office until just last month. Okay, that's 4 years. That's ridiculous. So I don't want to freak you out, Nikita. I don't want to tell you that your application is going to take 4 years, but the thing is, the government USCIS does not have any processing time expectation on 290Bs, and probably because they receive a lot of them. And it's just difficult and especially now, of course, pandemic is gotten worse. If there's no pandemic, I mean, maybe I would have received that reversal decision 2 years earlier, but they need to do better. Okay, that's for sure. Um, especially when you pay money for it. Okay, I think it's at least $675. All right, so hopefully that answered your question, Nikita. Oh, thanks, Nikita. I appreciate that. Well, I mean, like I said, I don't typically like to step in on someone's case if you're already represented. But if you just want that, this is one of the reasons we offer the free 15 minutes. We don't take on representation during the free 15 minutes. It's really if just like like any of these questions on the comments here on YouTube, which is connected to our Facebook page. Um, these are common questions that people have that you call up about. So let's say I discuss it briefly on the YouTube channel, but I just obviously I can't go in specific about your case, but you want more follow-up on it, a little bit more detail. Welcome to give us a call right over here, or answer a few questions down below on our website. Okay. And then let's see what else to share with you. I did mention Facebook. Okay. Facebook group that one of our team members is going to help provide more information on our Green Card Guys Academy Facebook group to share more tips with y'all that normally we wouldn't share out here on YouTube just because of time, not because we don't want to, but it's just a lot easier on a Facebook group. So check out our community there. Greatly appreciate it. Just type it in the Facebook search and it should pop up. Okay. Let's see. I know there are a couple more comments here. All right, Shania. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. I'm gonna go and apologize for everyone if I mispronounce your name. I'm always trying to learn. Can I give clarity on a new TPS policy to get PD and the ICE office to consider joint motion reopen and terminate removal? I kind of discussed that earlier. If you want me to speak specific to TPS, which I guess that's what you're asking me, of course. Ooh, what's going on here? Okay. Let me see if I can find it because I don't want to. I mean, I was just speaking broadly about it. But when you have TPS, the government in general, Department of Homeland Security, is more likely to agree to dismiss it. Okay. So, but let me see if I can find it here. Okay. If there's a policy memo about it, I may have seen that earlier. But here's the thing, because TPS exists for a reason. Okay, this is Trump administration tried to get rid of it, and it's meant to be temporary. Okay, of course, is in the name, but inherently because courts have ruled on it, Court of Appeals, that they can't. It's very difficult to take away TPS, and if they do, they got to do it properly. Provide notice and comment period is what we call it. Okay, in the Federal Registry, you can't just like wave a hand like Trump was doing for everything and DACA, everything, and just saying that it can go away. So, but based on current policy, there is no reason for the government and the court to try to remove you if you have TPS. So, if you have not applied, I'm not talking about you specifically, but if y'all, I know for Ukraine, Cameroon, other newly designated countries like Afghanistan, the registration period to apply, it could be far in advance. Like I know 2023, do not wait until the last second because things happen in life. You're already waiting, you're procrastinating. I know 99.9 of us, 0.9% of us procrastinate. So do not wait. Even if you have, we just had this question earlier this week. Someone said that, oh, why would I need to apply TPS? Because I have EAD based on asylum. Okay, well, I think everyone knows that asylum rates to get approved are very low in America. Makes sense, to be honest, but because if it was a higher approval rate, everyone would think they could apply. So I understand. I know a lot of y'all deserve asylum, but at the end of the day, you need to think about strategy for the future. If you are eligible for something else like TPS, even though it's not directly for a resident status or a green card in America, you need to apply, because if you get denied for asylum, you're going to start accruing unlawful presence. And so you just damaged your immigration history for the future. So I really recommend you apply for TPS. Yes, you can receive EAD, and it might be strange to say, well, why would I do that when I have EAD through asylum? I'm telling you right now, apply for it, because when the registration window closes, you will no longer be able to apply, even though, let's say, Cameroon is on a list, your country of nationality. That's a very important tip, and a lot of people don't know this, because we receive calls about this all the time, and they say, when I tell people, like people from El Salvador, for example, registration period is closed. So if you don't believe me, I am happy to, let's see if I can find that page. Okay, about TPS. I'm about to end the show, because I know you've been waiting patiently for the secret code. Okay, the other thing here, Shania, to answer your question again, is that yes, your case can. I'm not, of course, I can't guarantee for you, but can. Of course, the lawyers have to provide a lot of disclaimers. Can get dismissed, but the government might consider, why was your case referred to immigration court in the first place. So for some people, if you have two or more crimes that are theft, or two or more crime involving moral turpitude, that is short for CIMT, or the acronym is CIMT, then they're likely not going to close it, dismiss it. So it just depends on your circumstances. Hopefully you have an attorney to guide you through that process. I wish you the best. But yeah, again, if you have not applied for TPS, do not wait any longer, please. Okay, just want to pull up this website for you. Okay, I do have to end the show soon. I forgot I have a meeting soon, and like right now. But so I do see another question. I see two more questions. Okay, D3, March 2017. So anyway, back here, yeah. Eligibility. You must file during the open registration period or the re-registration period, but you wouldn't know if it's going to be open for re-registration. Okay, or you meet the requirements for late filing. Basically, an excuse. Don't depend on that. Okay, please, I really recommend filing during the open initial registration. And these are situations where you would not be eligible for TPS or to maintain it, because you could have already had TPS, and then you might wonder, well, why did they deny it the second or fifth time? And that's because you might have some crimes. So something to consider. Okay, and so I mentioned that because one of our previous clients hired a notario, or notary public, and applied for them. But if they had gone to a lawyer, we would have reviewed the criminal history and said, you're not eligible, so don't even do it, because you apply, your case is going to get referred to immigration court, and that's where we helped out. We got the case going, but just hire a lawyer. Okay. All right. Here's the secret code. Sorry, Prayful, I have to get to your question next time, or you can or give us a call, schedule an appointment. Here is our secret code. Thank you so much for waiting. There it is, there on the bottom. You could have guessed it. So if you're new to the channel, if you're getting a secret code for the first time, please subscribe down below. Greatly appreciate it. Share our channel with your friends and family, colleagues, and smash the like button. Until next time, friends, please continue